Let's talk about West Ham United, another one of your former clubs. They're on the verge of double signing, might be even more than that. They've agreed a fee of £30.5 million with the Sassuolo striker Gianluca Scamacca. They desperately needed a number 9 to compete with Mikel Antonio, and he really does fit the bill, doesn't he? Because he's big, he's physical, he scores goals, and with the amount of football that West Ham are hoping to play over the course of the year, this is the kind of signing that they wanted. I hope they get it over the line.
Yeah, so do I. I think they've been in real need of an extra striker. They've had a few players go in there and try and fill that space to give Antonio a bit of rest, but we've never really had two number 9s, battling for that spot in the team. I think it'll be good for Antonio as well. I think it'll put him on his toes. He'll be rested at the right times as well. And if Gianluca comes in and does a good job, I think that'll be West Ham looking really strong going forward, because they've got great midfielders, great attacking midfielders, but they just always rely on Antonio to score the goals, and it's too much on one man's shoulder.
I can tell you that in the last hour, there has been confirmation from the Sassuolo CEO, Giovanni Carnevali, who has confirmed West Ham have an agreement in place to sign Scamacca. It's 36 million euros up front, 7 million in performance-related add-ons. That's quite a big deal, isn't it? But not as big as maybe you would expect for a number 9 who scores goals. And he does score goals as well, doesn't he? I think he played in 36 league games last season, got 16 goals.
Superb, almost 1 in 2. Big lad as well. Young, he's only 23 years old. So the sell on, if he does do really well and it's someone that maybe wants to move clubs, you could look to get back on that investment as well. So it all adds up. It makes sense. Playing in Italy, it's difficult to score goals there, and he's proved that he's a capable man. So it'll be interesting to see how he settles if we do get him over the line. But it's certainly a massive boost for West Ham fans and for the squad. Antonio will be looking at that thinking competition for places, but there's plenty of games. Europa Nations League they're in this season. FA Cup, League Cup, obviously Premier League games. There's plenty of games to go around, so there'll be plenty of games to share that out.
Yeah, that Europa Conference League, I'm sure we'll see them use quite a lot of the squad, and sometimes it gives an opportunity for younger players who are coming in, someone like Flynn Downs, for example, who they've signed this summer from Swansea to sort of bed into the team. He's one of their signings. Naif Agard from the French football is coming in as well, but he's picked up an ankle injury. I don't know if you saw the game against Rangers. He made a little bit of a mistake, then picked up an ankle injury. They say it isn't broken, but it might still keep him out for a couple of weeks. They've converted Alphonse Areola's loan spell into a permanent deal, and they've been linked with Filip Kostic as well. Now, I don't know how much of you saw of him last season, but he played for Eintracht Frankfurt. I did quite a few of their games, and you would have seen him in the Europa League against West Ham United. He played at left wing back. He's a bit of a left winger as well at times, and he can definitely get forward and crosses a ball really well. Great work ethic as well. He's the kind of addition that West Ham need on that left hand side, isn't he? Yeah,
lots of industry. I think he's got good quality on the ball. Looks after it, retains possession really well, which is what you need to do in the Premier League. He's got a good end product. His crossing ability is good. He works hard. I think he looked a competent, experienced operator when he played against West Ham in the Europa League. So, I think that'll be a really good sign if they can get that one over the line, especially on that left-hand side. You've got Cresswell in there, and you've not really got any natural left-footed players down that side. So to have him there, it's a great addition to the squad.
They need to upgrade from Masuaku, doesn't they? Who they've had in that position on that left-hand side for a while, was a sort of almost auxiliary left back. He has played a little bit further up as well. Cresswell's had some problems towards the end of last season and in pre-season as well, and has sort of drawn the ire of the supporters, but he's been a great servant for the club over the course of the years that he's been there. His set pieces are fantastic. But
that's another thing, Sam. Another thing with Kostic. He's a good set piece taker.
But they're in that zone now where they need to start upgrading the squad, isn't it? As they try to push further up the table.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. You look at the investments going into the other teams, Tottenham, Arsenal, Manchester United. So to stay even where they are, and to stave off the likes of Newcastle and other teams that are Leicester City are going to be trying to close that gap and hopefully finish in the top 7. the competition's there. So if you don't improve your squad, and Leicester haven't improved their squad, so their fans will be concerned. But if you don't improve your squad, how can you expect to repeat what you've done last season? Last season was good. I think if we would have been more investment in recruitment, it could have been better. So it might have been a bit of a lost opportunity. But looking at the signings that they're looking to get in, I think they've been linked to Dwight McNeil, Ben Breverton, Diaz as well. So there's a lot of links to the club. As long as they get a few more over the line, I think they should be good.
Also linked with Poland midfielder Piotr Zielinski, 28, from Napoli, very good player. Saw him in the European Championships last year with Poland and seen him a couple of times in qualifying for the World Cup, playing for the same team. He's a delicate little player, chief creator, another one of those sort of number 10s. West Ham have had quite a lot of those over the last few years. I'm not necessarily sure they need another one, but he is a very creative player. But again, that might be that they're just on the verge of upgrading those positions and upgrading that squad, and that's the right way. And they seem to be building slowly but surely towards a better squad of players that can compete at the top end of the division.
Yeah, 100%. And even if you've got 2 or 3 players in the same position, rotation, you pick up injuries, you don't want to leave yourself light. Going into games, it's competitive. Every single game is competitive. So if you get a couple of injuries in a certain position, and you're talking about a number 10 there, they've got some decent players in them positions. But if you've got a little bit of fatigue or if you've got an injury, it's great to have a quality player coming in rather than having to play somebody out of position or play a kid that might not necessarily be ready to play in the Premier League.
Tony Nunes on the Twitter says West Ham could play Mikel Antonio, Scamacca and Bowen as a front 3. That would certainly be deadly.
Who's going to play up the middle, though? Because I know Antonio doesn't like to play on the wings anymore. He's done his stint, the graveyard shift on the wings. I think he's so useful up front, as a number 9. He's hold up play. He's a big man to deal with. Sometimes the defender can't even see the ball. He's that thick set. His link-up play, he's got a lot more guile than people give him credit for. He knows when to fight for the ball and really protect it and win free kicks. And then when he gets in behind, I think his finishing's improving as well. So, yeah, that's going to be a good competition if Scamacca does come in, because Antonio definitely wants to be the main man. I think he's proved that he's capable of filling that number 9 spot for West Ham. But competition for places, that's what David Moyes wants.
Don't know if you saw yesterday, Luton Town 1, West Ham United 1. Afterwards, David Moyes was talking about the upcoming season. He said Declan Rice must step up to help fill the void left by Mark Noble. That is going to be big shoes to fill. Obviously, he's been captaining the club anyway because Mark was coming off the bench, just being part of the dressing room, not really contributing a huge amount during the course of the season. Obviously, a big part of the backroom environment, and also did contribute on the pitch a couple of times over the course of the season. But in terms of a regular captain, it was Declan Rice. But now he's got to do it on his own almost. Is he capable of doing that, do you think?
I think he is. I think the fact that he's coming out and giving this statement saying it's an honour, there's a lot of responsibility with it. I think he realises the job at task, and he's looking to get his teeth into it. It's a great honour to be captain of West Ham. I've done it once. He's obviously going to be the captain of the club for the season now. Mark Noble's stepped down, and I think he's taking it serious, and I think that's what fans want to see. They don't want to see him flippantly saying, yeah, I'm captain of the club, so what? I deserve to be. He's taking it serious. He's made everyone aware that he takes it as an honour, and he's going to try and fill them boots of Mark Noble, who did such an absolutely brilliant job for over a decade for the football club.
He's got a lot of experience around him, which is really important. The likes of Fabianski, Cresswell we've mentioned, or Bonner, people who have been at the club a very long time and also have been at other clubs and got a lot of experience. He will need to lean on that as well, won't he?
Listen, I think David Moyes has been brilliant. He's got a lot of good eggs in that squad, and I think if you're not pulling in the same direction as everyone else, you'll be out there before you know it. So he's got the right environment. He's created that environment where it's about hard work, where it's about togetherness, where it's about spirit. Listen, Declan Rice has got some great people around him, but he is a great player, and I'm sure he's got the mentality. I'm sure he's got the personality to fill that spot. But listen, Souček scored in that game against Luton. Luton did well to get back in the game very late on, but I think Souček getting goals again and them two dovetailing better than they did last season, because I think Souček got 5 goals last season. The season before he got 10.
He wasn't as effective last season.
Well, he wasn't, because I think Declan Rice was trying to get forward a little bit more. They've just got to get that balance right and get that chemistry right, where if one goes, if one sits. And obviously you've got Flynn Downs who's coming in. He'll obviously won't expect to play a lot of games, but he's going to be learning from these boys. He's from Ongar. He's an Essex boy. He's a local boy. So him getting that move from Swansea back to Essex and back to playing in East London, that'll be brilliant for him, and he'll want to do well. And I believe I've heard a few Swansea fans speaking so highly of Flynn Downs. So I'm quite excited how he's going to develop under David Moyes and his coaching team and within the group.